Students, are you ready for some new timeline pegs for history? You all did very well with the previous ones. We're going to continue to review those so that we don't forget them. But today we're going to learn timeline peg 32, and we're just going to practice that one. That's it for today. Because the story is going to talk about Julius Caesar. So what I would like for you to do is to stand in ready position so that we can practice this new timeline peg. So let's all stand. Okay, ready position. And let's begin. Julius Caesar killed Pompey, and a dictator he became. He was killed by a group of senators who envied his great fame. His brother-in-law, Marcus Brutus, helped the men to slay Julius Caesar, who uttered the famous words, Et tu, Brute. This happened on the Ides of March in 44 BC. A sinister tale that's handed down through all of history. All right, very good, boys and girls. Let's do that one more time. Since it's the first time we do it together, we're going to say that one more time, and then we'll begin with the story. Julius Caesar killed Pompey, and a dictator he became. He was killed by a group of senators who envied his great fame. His brother-in-law, Marcus Brutus, helped the men to slay Julius Caesar, who uttered the famous words, Et tu, Brute. This happened on the Ides of March in 44 BC. A sinister tale that's handed down through all of history. Very good, boys and girls. Let's sit down and sit in ready position. Today we don't have a map to work on. So I will ask you to listen very big today to the story, because after the story, I'm going to ask you to draw what you learned about Julius Caesar, and he is the one that we're going to learn about today, Julius Caesar. And I am on page 254 in our history book, and like always, I'm not going to read from the book. I'm just going to give you a highlight of the story, the main parts of the story. And if you would like, after this lesson, after the video, you can go ahead and read some of those things for yourself. I really encourage you to go and read it, even if it's just one page, because like Mrs. Castro says, I want you to practice with your reading, and reading out of a textbook is great, great practice. So we are on page 254, and the story ends in 257. So do you remember when we learned about Rome, who were the brothers who started the city of Rome? Do you remember? There was two brothers. Did you say Romulus and Remus? Yes, very good. Remember that we learned that they were the ones that began they were the ones that built Rome. And where did they build Rome? On how many hills? Did you say 7 hills? That's right. They built Rome on 7 hills. And then they got into a fight, right? And who won? Romulus won. So he had that city, that village, named after him, Rome. And so where we are now with Caesar, Julius Caesar, he is from Rome. And Rome, from the very beginning, when Romulus built the village, the town, it has grown so much since then. It became very, very, very large. The village, the small village, became a very rich village, and then it became a very powerful city. And then all of a sudden they started building roads, and they built so many different things that could help them live better. They began to build city walls. So Rome became a very, very great and powerful city. It actually became one of the strongest cities in the world. And this is where Julius Caesar was born. And he was born into a very, very rich family, a very famous family too, because they were considered to be descendants from Romulus himself. So this family, they believed that they came from the line of Romulus. So of course they were very rich and very known, and they, because they came from the founder of Rome. So they had a son, and they named him Julius Caesar. So Julius Caesar became a boy who was very smart. They sent him to school so that he could learn many different things. He can learn how to read, how to write, how to do math. And they also sent him so that he could learn how to speak well, so that if he ever had to do any speeches or speak in front of a lot of people, that he would be a person who spoke well in public. And so the reason why they wanted to do that is because they wanted Julius Caesar to be able to govern Rome one day. And so for him to be able to govern Rome one day, he needed to be able to speak well and be liked by the people so that they would vote for him. So because Julius Caesar was looking to find different ways to speak better, he was trying to find different teachers to help him. When he was young, he found a teacher that lived in an island, and he wanted to go over to him so that they can teach him how to become a better speaker. So he asked to send out a ship to go to this island so that he can learn more. But there were people that told him, if you go out on sea, especially the Mediterranean Sea, you are going to find pirates all over that area. And if pirates see our ship, we could be in danger, because those pirates, they like to steal, they like to cause trouble. So we don't advise you to do something like that. Well, Julius said, that does not scare me. I'm not afraid of pirates. Let's go, because we're going to be okay. So he paid the captain of a ship, and he got on board, and they sailed because they wanted to go to this island so that Julius could become a better speaker, so he can learn to become a better speaker. Well, what do you think happened during his travels? So he was on sailing across the sea, and sure enough, they found pirates, and pirates were overpowering, and they came on board, and guess what happened? They kidnapped him. They kidnapped Julius Caesar. They saw that he had a lot of great expensive things on the ship, and then when they saw him, they saw that he was dressed well. They saw that he came from a very rich family. So they thought, oh, we can get a lot of money for this guy. So they sent messages to Julius's family and said, we have this person here, and if you give us $100,000, we'll give him back to you. So that was their ransom. And ransom means you give me that money and I will give you your son back. But Julius Caesar, because he was a little prideful, he said, what? $100,000? That's it? That is nothing. He said, I am worth at least $250,000. So the pirates knew that he had enough money to pay for a very, very large amount. So finally the pirates were able to receive money, the ransom money, and then they let Julius Caesar go. He was held, kidnapped, for more than a month. How many days are in a month? There's either 30 or 31 days. So he was in their possession. He was with the pirates for more than 30 days. But they released him, they set him free because his family did pay. But Julius Caesar did say this. He said, I am going to come back and find you, and we are going to kill you because of what you've done. But the pirates just laughed. The pirates did not believe what Julius was saying. Well, Julius Caesar got back home, and then shortly thereafter, he hired a ship. He hired about 3 warships to go back onto the Mediterranean Sea in search of these pirates. And they found the pirates, and they were able to fight them, and Julius Caesar was able to do what he had said that he was going to do. He found them and he executed them, and because of what he did, Julius Caesar became very famous. Julius Caesar, because he got captured by pirates, because he was released, then he became very famous. That's what he was known for. In the city, people knew him because he went to punish the pirates. And that was something very happy, a happy event that happened to Julius Caesar, because he knew that now that he was known, later when he wanted to be to govern Rome, he was going to have people to vote for him. So the people of Rome were ready to vote for Caesar. So that is a little story about Julius Caesar. So he was born in Rome. He was from Rome. He came from a very rich family, a very important family, a family that claimed that they were descendants of Rome's founder, which was Romulus. That's right. And he was kidnapped by who? By pirates. Yes. And how long was he kidnapped for? For more than 30 days. And then he was released. And then he said he was going to find them and punish them. And did he? Yes, he did. With those 3 warships that he hired. So what I would like for you to do now is get a sheet of paper, of drawing paper, and I'd like you to draw that story. Draw that story as it played out. You can draw whatever comes to your mind after listening to that story and draw it out. And I'd like for you to write some facts. 3 facts that you learned about Julius Caesar in this story of when he was kidnapped. And if you have some time right after this, go ahead and read a page or maybe half a page so you can practice your reading. All right, boys and girls, that was it for history today. I hope you enjoyed that story, and tomorrow you're going to learn a little bit more about who Julius Caesar is and what he does. Enjoy, boys and girls.